Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Sportimus here, and today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Animated Activators Bumblebee. As you can see, he is still a yellow Sport Coupe hatchback. I like this version a lot better than the deluxe one. The only flaw I see in him is that he has these big black hinges here that could very well have been yellow. His windows are not translucent, they are painted on, but they're a nice pleasing looking bluish gray metallic flake tint to them. He holds together relatively well, but all in all, not a bad figure. Here is the deluxe class Bumblebee, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of size difference. What I like about him the most is when you compare him to the Voyager bulkhead, that's the way it should be. Because bulkhead's a big fella. Even the leader bulkhead, it would still look pretty good. And so that's a really nice scale there, I think, especially when you put him next to the deluxe Jazz. And again, Bumblebee is the smallest one, and he pretty much fits the role there. One last comparison to him would be the Voyager Optimus Prime. And even Prime is looking pretty massive compared to the Activators version. Now for the transformation, this is really complicated, guys. Refer to this video only if you need help with transforming this guy, because he is the most difficult transformer you'll ever buy in terms of changing him from robot to vehicle and vehicle to robot. So that said, you've been warned. When you buy this figure, read the instructions carefully, okay? And look at the videos for tutorial on how to do him as well, because if you get lost, man, you're in big trouble. So I'm here to help. I'll show you how to do it. He's harder than Masterpiece Megatron. I mean, this guy is like, whew, But anyway, enough babble. Here it goes. This is Bumblebee in his car mode. You put him down on the table, like that, okay? You take your finger and you put it on this red siren right here, okay? Okay, and when you do that, okay, concentrate, okay? You're going to concentrate real hard. Push it down, okay? And when you do that, release. The next few steps are pretty much the simple ones. You just form his feet and his knees, bring his elbow around, do the same for the other side, and you have yourself a very nice little Activators Bumblebee. Yay! Now to bring him back to car mode, you do the exact opposite. You bring his feet inward to form the front, connect them together, straighten out the door panels, and you're going to take this back end here, you're going to pull it around so this whole thing goes back forward. And the last part is basically you line everything up. He's back to car mode. As you can see, he is considerably shorter than the deluxe class Bumblebee, which is kind of a bully for pushing him over. And he reminds me a lot of the Generation 1 Bumblebee, with the same kind of front end being his feet, the roof being his chest and body, and well, he would have had side panels if he was more detailed, but you get the idea. His head being towards the back and all of that. So as you can clearly tell, he's quite a bit shorter. He's not as accurate as the Animated Deluxe class in terms of comparing him to the cartoon version. The Deluxe class beats him out in that quite a bit. But as a figure as a whole, I think he's a lot more in scale with his pal Bulkhead than the Deluxe class is. And there you have Bulkhead and Bumblebee with a much better representation of one another in terms of scale, along with the Voyager class Optimus Prime. As a reference for an average size Deluxe class figure, here's Black Arachnia. So she does tower over him, maybe a little too much, but it's more to scale to me than the Deluxe class would be. He may be a lot simpler version of Bumblebee than the Deluxe version is, but he does have some nice qualities to him. He does not have light piping, but his eyes are painted in that blue that is really reflective and really stands out well. Not to mention, his head seems a lot more to scale than the Deluxe class Bumblebee does, which is another positive thing in my book. I don't like humongous head robots. So, anyway, it does look down, looks almost straight up. He can't really go that far, left and right, but far enough compared to basically a lot of humans look, so it's not too bad. His arms go all the way around at the shoulder. He does have an elbow. He has a pretty decent elbow. It's just the door panel gets in the way. But and it does rotate around like this as well at the shoulder. So you do have a lot of range of movement there. So that's kind of cool. It's more movement than the Deluxe class. The only weak point would be the elbow again. That's pretty much as far as it goes, and it doesn't look like much at that side, but it looks a little better from this end because you have the molded in hand and you have the arm there. It's not the greatest, but again, it is an activator, so you know you can't knock it too much. I mean, look at G1 Bumblebee. I mean, at least they gave him hands. So he's got a nice looking front, which I like a lot more. He reminds me of a baby Sunstreaker. And, well, he does. And at least it's a real front, which is more than I can say for this guy. So, it looks better to me, too. It looks cleaner. He's got the feet that I like. Reminds me a lot of the typical Bumblebee, like from the Classics line. And, of course, the G1 feet are like that as well. And they look better than the freakishly large clown feet of the Deluxe Bumblebee. So, and he doesn't need heel spurs, because look at that. He's tiny. And his legs, let's get his arm out of the way so you can see better. His legs, they're alright. They can do the splits. Yay, I'm happy. They can go forward pretty well, and not so much back, but they bend to the knee. So, again, he's an activators, so he's not going to have all the bells and whistles that the Deluxe one has, but he does have some things that the Deluxe doesn't. And that being said, I like this one more. I really do. I have a lot more fun with this guy than I do with this thing right here. And this guy sits with the other animated figures. This one just sort of is around. I like these. I'm not a huge fan of the Activators line. Some of them are good and some of them are absolutely like, what the heck did they do? But this is one of the finer ones. I think this one and the Activator Starscream are one of the nicer ones in the line in terms of the Activators. So, nicely detailed, good looking figure. There he is from the back. So, yeah. That said, transformation, real simple, not meant to be difficult or, you know, but it is interesting, so I give it a plus for that. It is kind of cool. Vehicle mode, I like it a lot. Heck, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's a good vehicle mode. The only thing he loses points on would be the black hinges in the back. If they would have made that yellow, it would have looked a lot better. And robot mode, I give that 8.5 out of 10. Easy. He's just a lot more to scale, and he looks pretty good, and he's just an all-around fun figure. So that said, thanks for watching, and have a great day. See you next time.